Well, I never would have guessed in a million years that I'd be sitting here on Christmas Eve by myself putting out another video on YouTube. Isn't that crazy? But a strange twist of fate leaves me home alone. So here I am. Pardon me, I still have my cold. I'm working on that. So this is a picture that really deserves to take another look at. This is probably, in my opinion, the most incredible picture that we have. And this color picture here is the work of Joseph P. Skipper. And he took these NASA images and he cleared them up and analyzed them and put them out. Now I've taken those pictures and I've zoomed in on them, and I've done a few of my own things to his pictures. But this is an amazing picture. There's no other picture out there that comes anywhere close to it. And folks, you are looking right into a city on Mars, the real thing. You know, skyscrapers, giant, huge buildings. So I've shown this before, and I felt like I had to come back and take a new take on it, get some new pictures. And I talked a little bit about the Skybridges before, but I didn't really go into detail on it. So I wanted to go into a little bit more detail on what this city is all about, you know, how it works. And throughout the city there are some cylindrical buildings, but this one building right here has some very large structural elements going from one side to the other. It's, as I said, a cylindrical building, but it has these large rectangular structures that come out one on each side and probably connect up with another building. And that's what I found. We do have sky bridges here, but these buildings much of the time go together just the way if you had a kid that was building Lego buildings and you know, had a Lego sticking out the side, they need to attach another building to that Lego and so on and so forth. So much of these buildings are built together. And if they weren't built together, then they've come along and put these sky bridges in. But there are a lot of them, and I've pointed out the main ones, you know, the ones that you'll see. But if you wanted to take the time and go over it, you'll see that you'll find more of the sky bridges, and you'll also see how these structures, these very large structures, and this one in the middle, that cylindrical building in the middle, is enormous over on the right side now. It's huge. It's way bigger than anything else in the whole picture, and it's a fairly large picture. And you also have some very tall, very, very tall, slender skyscrapers. You know, I can only guess on how tall these are. I know there's less gravity on Mars. And when you look at some of the smaller skyscrapers, you know, from satellite, you think, well, those look pretty tall. But next to the other skyscrapers, they're small. So I don't know how big these buildings are, but I think they're really, really huge. But as you know, scale is always a question. So look at this one right in the middle. There's a bunch of sky bridges connecting these buildings. And again, the cylindrical building there with the structural elements sticking out on each side. And there's also a lot of structures, smaller buildings, right up above the skyline in this picture. And then above there's even more yet. And I love this at the coming in from the 9 o'clock position, about a third of the way over, that big, tall, skinny building. It's so tall and so skinny. It's really amazing. And these structures all come down from the left to the right and culminate in the middle. And then same thing on the other side. From the right, they drop down going left and also stop in the middle. So you have them sloping down from each side, lining up with the extra large cylindrical building that's in the middle, the one that's bigger than everything. And don't let this picture screw you up, you know. Take your time and look at it, because honestly, when you look at pictures like this, especially when they're backed out a little ways, and it's almost like your eyes are vibrating going back and forth. It's 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 very busy. It's very intense, and if you slow down and go from one building to the next, you'll get a lot more out of it. And some of these close-ups will show you some windows and openings, and the cylindrical buildings seem to have these six-sided openings, big, long, elongated six-sided openings, big openings. Maybe that's where the parking garage is, I don't know. And then you see other just regular, what appear to be like regular windows, but we know they have to be quite large. So whether they're windows or parking garages, I don't know. I don't think our resolution is ever good enough to see if there were, droves of anti-gravity aircraft around these buildings going in and out. I don't know. I don't think the resolution is ever good enough to see that. If the New Horizons satellite, which went to Pluto, if they sent that to Mars, that's a 300 feet resolution. It could see a lot. That would have been really amazing to see that. This big cylindrical building, and I've noticed that other cylindrical buildings in this, each one of them has a perfectly square white little structure sitting on top of it. It's almost as if that's where the HVAC system is. I don't know. I don't know why it's like that. Never know. But it's interesting how they have so many cylindrical buildings mixed in with the rest of them. And it doesn't seem to make a difference as far as the layout, and they still attach to each other. I wonder if you could walk in one building and over time find yourself, a mile down the way having gone through several buildings, because I know that they are frequently attached. And this gives you the backdrop. This is the picture from a distance. Again, you can see where it would, when you look at it, your eyes just want to buzz back and forth. But as I said, if you just slow down and look at individual buildings and move around from there, you'll really get a feel for the real layout of this. And that's what it's all about, the layout. These are definitely not image artifacts. This is an intelligent construction, and it is a beautiful, gleaming city in the sun. And I want you all to have a very nice Christmas, and we'll see you very soon. Bye now.